Well, this is
So
gonna
Zach,
be what? What?
was it worth it?
I had fun. I
Was
had a
it
good
worth
time.
driving 8 hours, paying the price that you paid? Going to respect your privacy and not say the price out loud,
No.
and paying the price you paid for a stadium show, PLE, with 4 matches that really didn't equate to anything except for one of them, and just paying for a bunch of ads and
Well,
for a bunch of entrances and some pyrotechnics. Was it worth it?
I had fun. I had fun. And
Fair enough.
to be fair, Elimination Chamber also had four matches and they packed the Sky Dome with like 60,000 plus, more than Petco Park could hold. Um,
But at the same time, I think Elimination Chamber had a little more stakes to their matches
well,
than
because
what.
you also had a fucking John Cena heel turn at the end, which nobody ever thought they would see. But um, yeah, no, I mean, this is an interesting show that Tomas and I have to talk about here because I was there live. Tomas was a coward and decided to not come with me.
No, I was
Um,
smart. I was fucking smart. That's what I was. And
well,
this is great because you're going to get both sides of the perspective being in attendance for the show and someone who watched it. And the crazy thing was I watched half of the show live, went and did my business, and then watched the last match and a half when I got home.
there you
And
go.
I don't think me watching it live versus other than watching John Cena's last PLE match, aside from that, I don't think it would have made a lick of difference how I watched the show because goddamn, it's getting painful. I
Yeah,
do not like the ESPN era.
I hate it.
We
I
don't
hate
know
it.
how fucking good we had it with the WWE Network. Hell, we didn't know how good we had it with Peacock. I don't
I
know. The future's looking
I'm
grim for
concerned. I'm very
broadcasting
concerned.
WWE pay-per-views in particular.
I
And I'm gonna do this weird thing where I'm going to not trash the show, but trash the structure of the show. But then at the same time, playing devil's advocate for the show because I'm gonna say this right now. I did not hate this show. I had fun with the matches. I thought the matches were solid in itself.
yeah,
I think it's a little too far. And what I've been seeing people saying that this is the worst Survivor Series we've had in the last decade, the
no,
worst Triple H pay per view ever booked. Like this
no.
show is a piece of goddamn garbage. Like
I will take this show over WrestlePalooza any day of the week.
I will too. And
Yeah.
this show is still better than some of the other liquid garbage WWE has forced down our throats over the past 20 years. Battleground 2013 comes to mind. Uh, Stomping Grounds comes to mind.
Hell in
Capital
a
Punishment.
Hell in a Cell 2019 definitely comes to mind. A show that we were both in attendance for.
Yeah, Capital Punishment.
The show that turned our friend Skylar off to WWE for good.
And yeah, and even like in
So,
wrestling recently, what was that trash AEW pay per view we got? What was it? Fucking
was it Full Gear
no,
from last year?
full gear maybe. Yeah.
Or
That we have gotten some garbage pay per views over the years. This was
Dynasty from earlier this year
yeah,
where Swerve
Dynasty. Thank you.
Strickland didn't win the belt?
Yeah, Dynasty was pretty bad. Uh December to Dismember, which we are going to review very shortly.
Oh God.
When you compare this show to other shows, this isn't the most putrid piece of shit wrestling show on the planet. I do understand people's frustrations with the booking and the structure of the show, which trust me, I'm going to dissect piece by piece in this review. But
Yes.
you can do worse. I understand people are upset. I understand they're frustrated with the current direction WWE is going in. I get it. And you know what? I'm fully on your side. But let's be real. Like, I know we all know bad wrestling when we see it. The wrestling on this show wasn't bad. I
It
just
wasn't.
wish there was more of it and it wasn't so fucking pretentious.
Yeah. Well, and there also wasn't like any match on the show that I would deem an instant classic per se. Um, but and this is coming from someone who was in the building. I was more like it's strange because I feel like that whole experience was more about me being in San Diego, like amongst like the masses like that descended upon Petco Park.
Oh, yeah.
The hotel I stayed at was right across the street from the ballpark. all the wrestlers were staying there. I just a little bit of an anecdote just to really tell you how close I was to all the action. When I arrived to park my car and to check in, the whole valet was there. And I guess wrestlers have been walking in and out, and there was a black van with a female wrestler inside, who I can only guess was Charlotte Flair based off her silhouette. So she was staying there. I went down to get food after the show itself, and there was a big mob surrounding one CM Punk in the hotel lobby, and I was
Did I
like,
did I
Jesus
ever
Christ.
Yeah, did I ever tell you when we went to TLC 2018 in San Jose how I saw Alexa Bliss driving out of the parking lot?
Hmm.
I did, yeah. Me and my friends were
I
going
don't think
back
you
to our
told me that.
cars. Yeah, we're going back to our cars, and we happened to be like, we started walking around the building, like legitimately trying to be, little Snoopies.
Yeah,
And we saw one of the cars pulling out, and here's this little 5 foot girl, and we was like, oh shit, that's Alexa Bliss. And my
right.
friend Antonio, he was like in awe. He like stood there with his mouth agape for like 5 minutes and goes, Alexa Bliss is right next to us. I go, you okay, man? You gonna
There
be
you
okay?
go.
Like I get it. Trust me, I get it. I've had my
But
fair share of starstruck moments, and it's really cool that you had a great time. And hey, tell us, you
I
didn't go to the
did.
show alone.
I did not. Big shout out to Greg Morgan of Good Mic Work Commentaries because he set the whole thing up. He was there with his fiance Liz, who is an absolute trooper. She tore her ACL like the week prior, but she still was walking around the stadium in her Stone Cold cosplay. And Greg was wearing his Owen Hart hoodie, and he was like, "Well, I better hope I don't pile drive Liz at some point."
And you know
Uh,
what my favorite part about that is?
yeah,
She wanted to go to the show. She wasn't made
yes,
to go to the show. She didn't feel like, obligated to go to the show. Greg
Liz.
even told her, you can stay home. And she said, fuck no, I'm going.
Liz was insistent and she had a really good time. We all did. Greg, I will leave a link to his channel down in the description below. It really is one of the best podcasts on the wrestling medium. And I also met Chris Ludecki for the first time, another wrestling YouTuber. I will leave a link to his channel there. He does a lot of fantasy bookings and what could have been
You know
in the
what?
past. So,
I
yeah,
love listening to Greg streams for a lot of reasons, but I also love him listening his channel members, which I'm one of, finally, after all these years.
there you go.
And I love how he like runs down the names, and I'm just like, damn, one of these days we're gonna have a meetup, and I'm gonna find out what super fucky toaster looks like, or
Uh,
Sonic Plays looks like, or straight up Stone Cold, or Spartan Sprinkles, like all these names that we just hear of, or just like the moderators. I'm like, one day I'm gonna find out what these
yeah.
motherfuckers look like, and it's like meeting. It's like if you played Xbox back in the day and you played Call of Duty with a bunch of people you didn't know, and then you
hmm
finally meet up with them. It's like, goddamn, you're not just a username. There's a fucking person and a life
But
behind that.
Petco Park is a marvelous setting for a wrestling show. And I will say WWE pulled out all the stops production wise. It looked wonderful. And the San Diego skyline, once the sun went down, was just because it's right there in the heart of downtown. My hotel was right across the street. You had the San Diego Convention Center where Comic Con is held every year, right across the street from the stadium. You're about a hair's walk away from Gaslamp Quarter with a lot of local restaurants and a lot of local cafes. It was ideal setting. And if WWE does decide at some point to go back to Petco, I want to go back because it
They
was
just gotta
that great.
lower the fucking prices. Lower the
Please,
fucking
please.
prices. Like, please, like these are experiences. Like WrestleMania 39 is one of my fondest memories, and it just scares me that I'm not gonna be able to do that again. Like, we had a plan to go to New Orleans before they pulled the plug on that, and experience Mardi Gras and do the whole WrestleMania thing again. But WWE just keeps fucking pulling the rug from under us, and it's
And
just sad.
they put
I'm
it
like,
back in Las Vegas, where you're probably going to
yeah,
have to put a whole down payment on a house just to be in the building in the
and,
nosebleeds.
and like I'm done being angry about it, and it's just starting to bum me out. Like,
Yeah,
damn, WWE, you don't fucking care about your fans. You only care about the ones that are going to line your pockets. And not going to say names. I know a person that was sitting at the fucking entranceway for the show, and she sent me a video of John Cena's final entrance. And I didn't ask her obviously because it's not my business, but I just couldn't help but sit there and go, "How the fuck did you afford that?" It's not even like a luxury, as in a
she
wow,
took
you
out
worked
a
so hard
she took
all
out a
year to.
personal loan. She maxed out a credit card.
Yeah, it's like think about it this way. If this was like 10 years ago and I buckled down, I locked in and said, you know what? Every single week I'm going to put aside $50. And by the end of the year, I'm going to be able to afford very nice tickets to a WWE pay-per-view. I'm going to travel there and everything. It's like an accomplishment. But then you look at it nowadays and you look at the people that do sit ringside and you go, God damn, like what the fuck do you do for a living? Did you
Right.
discover the cure for cancer
Well,
and you're selling it by the vial?
and AEW, on the contrary, is selling tickets at a very affordable price, and Tony Khan
Yeah.
wants to keep it open for families to be able to attend together. Um, Tomas and I can talk a little bit more about it on offline, but AEW Revolution is going back to the Staples Center in
And
LA in March.
that
And
sounds like a damn good time.
yeah, I'm tempted. I am very,
Yeah.
very tempted.
And when you compare the two, when it just comes to prices, I don't mean this as an insult whatsoever. WWE is like the overpriced branded ice cream, like Ben and Jerry's, for example. I love me some Ben and Jerry's. I'm not willing to pay $10 for a pint. And AEW is that good and gather Target branded ice cream that tastes just as good for a fraction of the price.
Yeah.
And yes, I would love to have a tub of Ben and Jerry's in my freezer right now, but it's just not. I honestly, I remember one time I was at the gas station because I didn't have any water in the house, and I saw ice cream. I was like, oh shit, I would love a treat. And I saw Ben and Jerry's a little pint for like $12, and I go, no, I can't justify that. If this
Mhm.
was $5, sure, but I mean, I know that's a very broad example, but it's like, you know, pro wrestling is like different flavors of ice cream. I do prefer WWE in a lot of cases over AEW because I grew up with WWE. AEW is great, but I just have a stronger connection with WWE. But WWE is not an affordable brand right now. It's,
No.
to quote the great Giancarlo Esposito and the boys, it's a white man's privilege. Oh man, like damn, that was very out of pocket, and I don't
For
apologize for that.
God's sake. But yeah, so I put out a vlog of my experience in San Diego on my second channel that I share with my lovely girlfriend. I will go ahead and leave a link to that also in the description for you guys to check out. It's a really, really fun thing that I put together. But let's talk about this show because I think there's a lot to dig into. There's two War Games matches, a couple of big title matches. Yeah, four matches in a stadium show. Stop me if you've heard that one before.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm still gonna attest to you could have squeezed a couple more in here for a couple of reasons.
You could have had Gunther versus LA Knight on this show in the finals of the Last Time Is Now tournament, but no.
But no, they did that match with two Raw superstars wrestling on SmackDown. Please
Yep.
tell me how that fucking makes sense.
Yeah, no, just put it on Survivor Series. Gunther and LA Knight sounds like a very sexy match on paper, and I would have loved to have been in attendance for it, but c'est la
And
vie.
they had a traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 match, Sami Zayn and his crew versus the MFT on SmackDown. I repeat, on SmackDown. So Sami Zayn, the Motor City Machine Guns, Ilya Dragunov, and Shinsuke Nakamura got booted off a fucking pay-per-view.
Ray Phoenix, not
Oh yeah,
Dragunov.
Ray Fenix. Thank you. Yeah, Ray Fenix because reasons.
Because they needed SmackDown to feel big.
But they didn't. Because I'll break it to you right now. Nobody gives a flying fuck about the SmackDown going into a pay-per-view because it's going to be obsolete in less than 24 hours.
Well, nobody gives a flying fuck about SmackDown, period, because it hasn't been that great lately.
And that makes me so sad you don't even understand.
Yeah, but
The brand that I touted as the best brand for over 15 years is damn near unwatchable
no,
now.
Raw's blowing it out of the water right now, which is crazy to think. But
And even they're subject to criticism. It's just, when you compare the two shows, Raw actually at least has structure. Damian Priest and Aleister Black have been goddamn feuding for like 7 months now, and the feud feels meaningless. Next week on SmackDown, Rhea Ripley's going to be on the show just
because Damian Priest needs backup when Rhea Ripley is on Raw.
This company has no structure. This company has
I
no
mean,
fucking structure.
you could very easily call up Lola Vice because I hear she and Damian Priest are an item now in real life. But you
But
know,
no, you got to
no,
go with the big sell, and WWE just loves having their cake and eating it too. I know I'm a local man yelling at Cloud right now, the only one that fucking cares about this shit. But it's just
local
this
man
company.
yelling at Cloud,
Oh, it's a Simpsons meme. Look it up. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
man.
It's
But
just this company has no structure,
yeah,
and
which speaking of no structure, feels like with this War Games gimmick, which I had lauded a few years ago, and Triple H brought it in for Survivor Series and
oh, we all
fixed
did.
Survivor Series. Uh, Now it's just like obligatory. It's like you put five people on each team, and it's like, okay, because it's November, now we need a War Games match, and now we need two War Games matches for that matter. Um, I don't know. The matches themselves were fun. And we'll get into the first one here. We can sound the sirens here. In the women's War Games match, you have the team of Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Io Sky, and AJ Lee, which was really cool to see her live. They're going up against the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, newcomer Lash Legend, and the man Becky Lynch. This sounds like a huge amalgamation of randomness for
It,
sure on
it,
both
it
sides.
does. And I mean, to quote JD from NY, where is the story? Where is the story? I mean, sure, there's fragments of a story in this, like the Kabuki Warriors defeated Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to win the WWE Tag Team titles on an episode of Raw. Yeah, Becky Lynch, I mean, AJ Lee cost Becky Lynch the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which I guess gets Becky Lynch and AJ Lee in the match for reasons. And
Yeah.
then what made me mad, because of course it did, Nia Jackson and Lash Legend just show up on Raw and beating up the baby faces. Like, why? Well, why? What do they
Uh,
have to do with any of this?
didn't Nia Jax have another partner in Candice LeRae?
Yeah, but she's transitioning to a backstage role now, so I guess we can just forget
Oh,
about her.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
oh
why she's
yeah,
not. Oh, I didn't
I
know
didn't know you
that.
hear about
Okay.
that. Yeah, apparently she's transitioning to a backstage role, which awesome, good for her. She's still going to earn a paycheck,
Yeah.
but it's just like, and we'll get into it more when we get into this match. Like, I am a huge Lash Legend defender, huge Lash Legend defender. Like
She
watching
was
her in
alright. She
NXT.
was fine.
I mean, she's no Jade Cargill, she's no Bianca Belair, but I see potential in her, and
She's
I'm
still.
glad WWE is taking a chance on her. But to kind of jump the gun a little, they put her in a very awkward position in this match, being the last person to enter when it's
Well,
like, you haven't really given us a reason to give a damn about her.
I will accept leaving Nia Jackson, Lash Legend for the end of the order because Nia Jackson, Lash Legend being in the ring for God, 40 minutes on end sounds like a horrible idea right now.
Well,
Remember when Nia
you would have
Jax started the match for her team in War Games last year? That was a
oh yeah, it was bad.
really bad idea. That was a
That was bad.
really bad idea. So
I
I'm
mean,
glad
you would have
I'm
exposed the fuck out of Lash Legend right away. Like I just it's just like I remember I was like, oh shit, she's gonna be the last one to enter this match. And when she did, it's not her fault. She came out to crickets, but it's like WWE has not, she's been on the main roster for a cup of coffee now. The
yeah,
WWE has not given us a flying fuck to give about Lash Legend. Like
or a
we
reason
barely
to
been
give a fuck.
introduced it. Yeah. This, they just introduced her and be like, hey, care about her. And I'm like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
It's
So
not how this works. I want her to
as
succeed.
yeah. Yeah, I want her to succeed as well. I will also note that Nia Jax did get a louder reception than usual, a more positive reception than I'm used to with her because she's from San Diego. So there's that much at least. But just as a reminder, War Games, how it works is there's two rings basically right next to each other, surrounded by a gigantic steel cage, no roof on it. A member of each team starts the match, and then after a 5 minute interval, the team with the advantage gets another member added, and then after that is 3 minute intervals, and then the teams alternate. And War Games does not officially begin until all 10 people are there. And you can only win by pinfall or submission, as opposed to the old WCW rules where you could only win by submission or surrender. And if you escape the cage, since there's no roof on it, you forfeit it for your team. So
which
There's some
I
pretty
will say,
simple, yeah, good rules that Alicia Taylor explained not once but twice, and I
if
begged her
you
not to explain the rules the second time.
if you if you just insist on having this be a match concept every year, please, for the love of God, add the surrender option. It makes the match a little more exciting. I can get
It
props to
plays into the
AEW.
war theme.
Yeah, props to AEW, blood and guts. You can win the match by surrender. And, I feel like that adds a lot of story to the losing team. If they surrender, they can all gang up on and be like, what the fuck? You quit on us? Or,
Yeah.
I hope one year a War Games match ends by somebody leaving the cage. So they
Hmm.
have a reason to be upset at them. Be like, what the fuck? You pussied out and you cost us all the match. But that only works if the teams have structure. Look back at Survivor
Yes.
Series of the past when these teams had a reason to be teaming with each other, not for brand supremacy, not just because, but like take 2009, Team Kingston versus Team Orton. Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston were in the middle of a blood feud. Sheamus and Finley had something going on in ECW. John Morrison, no, I think it Morrison and Benjamin? No, Benjamin and Morrison were on the same team. But
It was
yeah,
I think it was that was the Survivor Series where Christian was the only white man on a team of all black people,
yeah,
right?
Christian was feuding with Benjamin. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you get my point. Like everybody was feuding with each other, so they had a common enemy. Now it just feels like, oh, we need stars on one team and stars on the other. And for some reason, Rhea Ripley just uh by sheer coincidence breaks her nose every year, so she has to wear a mask. And I have to agree with everyone. They say every year it feels like the same fucking match.
Except, yeah, and every year Io Sky has got to get her flip in off the top of the cage doing the Oscar the Grouch thing, which she absolutely did. And admittedly, that was a bit crazier than I was used to. Um, but the match does start with Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, WrestleMania 34 revisited. I think all of us owe Charlotte Flair an apology, by the way,
We do.
uh, because she put out that article on Players Tribune about how wrestling was never her first dream. It was always the dream of her late great little brother in Reed Flair. And so she decided to take the leap into the business to honor her little brother. Um, and now she is coming out to the ring with this attire, and she is dedicating this attire to a little girl who is sitting in the front row on the way to the ring. And I guess she has like brain cancer or something. Uh, and we do not deserve Ashley Flair.
I think we all need to start forming the line to apologize to her because
Yeah.
even me, the biggest Charlotte Flair defender on the planet, earlier this year was getting tired of her shit. And but to all of that, I do need to say because okay, it was pretty funny when she was making her entrance. The first thing I said aloud was, "Wow, that's some different attire for reasons." And then I heard
Hmm.
Michael Cole, and I go, "Oh, that's why." Never mind. That's fucking awesome. But at the same time, Charlotte Flair did the thing we've all been begging her to do for years, and that's have some character development.
Yeah.
And this whole, ever since WrestleMania, she has been nowhere near the world title. She has formed this awesome bond with Alexa Bliss.
Oh, it's
And
such a great team.
she has shown some fucking character development.
And I
And
will
that's,
say the build to this War Games match, Charlotte was the most interesting part of it
yeah,
because she is basically refusing to be on a team that has Rhea Ripley on it because of their history. And she just, she can't take part in it. And Alexa Bliss cuts this impassioned promo on Charlotte. What the hell, Charlotte? I was looking out for you. I was defending you, blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't know. That was one of Alexa Bliss's better promos. And the crowd does not deserve an Alexa Bliss promo like that because they kept wutting her. And I was like, you pieces of shit. You pay all this money to see, God knows what. And Alexa Bliss is pouring her heart into this performance here. And it's so disrespectful. It really is.
it's like in WWE right now, the best way to describe it is the players are great, the script just sucks. Because you can have Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the best actors of our generation, give him the shittiest script in the world, and it's gonna fucking suck. It's not going to make you go, wow, he's a terrible actor, but it's going to make you go like, God damn, that was a terrible movie. I'm sure you've seen plenty of movies over the years that have stellar actors, but the shittiest material they've ever been given.
Yeah, it's WWE's writing has always been iffy, though, to
Yeah.
be completely fair.
When it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, it's bad.
And you also have the obligatory weapon spots where every female wrestler that walks down the aisle has to have some sort of weapon in their hands. Io Sky, for example, has a Captain America looking trash can lid with her name written on it. And I'm like, I was seeing her walk down and I was like, this is who she is. In case you don't know her, that's her
Yeah.
name.
It's like these matches, they had the ingredients. Just
Yeah.
all of it put together was just very underwhelming. There are
There was a
certain
point
phrases
there was a point where the heels were tying up like three baby faces in a green chain that Kairi Sane brought down to the ring.
like that was cool. Like
That
I
was
appreciate
cool.
what the wrestlers were bringing to this, but it's just like, why are they fighting? Why does this need to be a War Games match? There is
Yeah,
no tension coming out of the match.
they tried to keep
There's
AJ Lee out of the cage when she tried to enter. Becky Lynch was scared of her, and AJ tries to go through the door, and she ends up climbing, which will come into factor in the men's War Games match as well. Um,
it's like give these women a reason to be fighting each other in the first place. And it just again, it just felt very samey. Did I enjoy this more than last year's? Fuck yes, I did. When it
yeah,
came to the women, it's still a little botchy at times, which makes me go like, what the fuck? What is it about this environment that makes the ladies in particular just become so sloppy? Like I think Io Sky attempted to do a springboard from one ring to the other, and she slipped. And I'm just like, if this was a normal ass match, she would have nailed that. But I don't know. Maybe it's the pressure. Maybe it's the nerves of being
maybe.
in such a big spotlight. I don't know what it is, but nothing will ever be worse than Nia Jax and Naomi just dinking their opponents with chairs. And I mean, you remember that one episode of Nitro where Hulk Hogan went to hit someone with the chair and he just softly dinked him on the head with it, and Tony Schiavone went,
Yes.
"What?" It was worse than that.
What was that?
And
What was that,
that like
fans?
is funny as fuck because Hogan goes for a chair shot, lightly dinks, and then you just hear somebody go, "What?"
Oh, I'll make a joke about that later too, because something
Yeah,
else happened to that extent. So the finish comes around after, War Games officially begins once Lash Legend, the newest fiance of Trick Williams, comes out. Congratulations to you two. Uh, Asuka goes for the blue mist on Rhea Ripley, who, by the way, I know the gimmick is she breaks her nose every year, but if that means she wears a freaking Terrifier looking Phantom of the Opera style mask to the ring, like, give me more of that, please. Like, that look on Rhea Ripley is amazing. I will tell you that
yeah. I
much.
feel like I unfortunately have to be the foil to you in this review because though that was cool, and I did like the whole aesthetic, she even brought down the trash bag that Art the Clown has in the Terrifier movies.
Yes.
But when she reveals what's in the bag, it's just like, oh my god, a kendo stick, really?
Or
I'm going
thumbtacks.
to give props to AEW. If they did a Terrifier gimmick, there would be broken glass, thumbtacks. Like if you've seen a Terrifier movie, Art the Clown does some unspeakable things to his victims. You're
Real
gonna,
glass. Go cry me a
yeah.
river.
So it's just like I think not Michael, yeah, Michael Cole made like a little quip on commentary. It's like, oh, the kendo stick hurts more because it's wrapped in black. I'm like, are you taking a jab at the
Are you
fact that we
high?
see the same goddamn weapons in all these matches? I will attest to something that so this is a mindset I had probably back in high school when WWE was at like the peak of its PG era. And I still feel like this to this day. I don't give a flying fuck if there's not an ounce of blood in your no holds barred matches. All I want are creative spots. If you can give me creative spots with what you're given, I'll love it. And I will not complain if there's not blood. But if it's the same old the Slim Jim tables and the kendo sticks and the chair across the back. It's like we've seen that. There's a surplus of barricade spots in WWE now. Like, we've seen that. That's why I like the chain
Ladders.
spot. That was creative. And
Yeah.
please tell me if I'm wrong. Was there a fucking Slim Jim table chant? Because I could have swore I heard one.
I don't think there was. I mean, I did make a comment to a bunch of other people in my section that's like, not just tables, but make sure that they're Slim Jim tables,
Yeah,
you know? And
those hurt more.
Greg and I were making this joke constantly during the War Games matches where, okay, you can go and save your friend, but you got to make sure you got to get your entrance in first. You got to make sure your pyro goes off. You got to make sure the music is blaring. And if the people want to sing along to your song, they can. But you cannot go and save them until you get your entrance in. So
We
that's,
act like Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't do that every single week in the Attitude Era.
well, no, I mean, he totally did. He totally
Yeah,
did. Why even hit his music?
for the
To pop the
pop.
crowd. Yeah,
For the
exactly.
pop.
So Asuka misses the mist on Ripley and she accidentally sprays Lash Legend with the blue mist. And it's like, oh shit. And the crowd started chanting, "You fucked up" at Asuka, which I thought was very funny.
Like, I
Um,
will say that was actually very creative to protect Lash Legend because obviously WWE wants to push her.
mhm,
But I don't think she has been really shown as much of as a threat. Like, let's take a show we're actually gonna review next, Survivor Series 2006.
mhm,
Umaga was on Big Show's team, and because Umaga was undefeated, he got counted out. He got disqualified because he goes berserk and starts hitting everybody with the chair. That's how
mhm.
you protect somebody like that. But Umaga had already been on this rough shot for 6+ months that you would believe that Lash Legend has been on the main roster for like 3 weeks. Like it
Yeah,
was a very creative way to write her out of the match, but I didn't really feel how it was warranted. You could have did that to anybody on that team.
definitely. Um, so after that, Io Sky does her obligatory Oscar the Grouch Swanton bomb off the top of the cage to wipe out all the heels. Io Sky really is making a case for best wrestler in the world, like
Yeah,
period, in
yeah.
2025. Like no matter the gender, she really is one of the greatest right now. And
If
that leaves Becky Lynch selling all by herself after Io Sky wipes everybody out. She's all excited, and then Becky's like,
if I can genuinely enjoy every single match that you are in, there are not a lot of wrestlers nowadays that makes me feel like that. And Io Sky is one of them. I love her in with Will Ospreay. I love her
yeah.
in with Gunta. I lump her in with these wrestlers that I just even you know what? Even AJ Styles nowadays, I don't enjoy every single one of his matches. Io Sky, I do.
Yeah,
Osprey, I do. Gunta, I do. They're a very elite squad of wrestlers.
she's allergic to having bad matches, basically, is
Yeah,
what we're saying. So Becky Lynch tries to run. Bliss hits it, nails her with a punch. Ripley hits the Riptide, and then AJ Lee locks in the Black Widow submission hold, and Becky Lynch surrenders to give the baby faces the win. This was fun. This was a fun match to watch live. I'm gonna go shit. 3.5. I thought it was better than the
I,
previous year's women's war games.
I will say I am really loving Becky Lynch's heel work because the next day on Twitter, she was saying I wasn't tapping out. I was motioning to my teammates to come help me. And
Yeah.
again, Becky Lynch is a special kind of heel that we don't really see anymore. And I just
She
appreciate all the
she's
work
fun to
she's been putting
laugh
in.
at because her Twitter behavior is very reminiscent of somebody else who is very famous that I don't really want to talk about on this podcast. But it's very apparent that Becky Lynch is parodying this person. And
Let's just say he has orange skin and he has a very bad haircut.
yes, yeah, basically it's Beaker from the Muppets,
Oh yeah,
right?
don't you ever insult people like that ever again. um, that man is an icon. um,
He's not a man though. He's a scientist.
that science is a fucking icon. Um,
I'm something of a scientist myself.
I did have fun with this match, and this is where I just feel very torn. I did enjoy this match, but not like to an extent where I'll be like, "Oh man, this is they're gonna go down in history as one of my favorite matches of all time." It was just, it was there. I had a fun time in the moment. It was like, I don't know, eating a slice of pizza. It was good. It's gonna go right through me, and I'm gonna forget about it the next day. It
Yeah.
was perfectly fine, but it just didn't really equate to anything. Now you got to ask yourself, what are we doing now? Well, I will say they are beefing up the women's tag team division in WWE, which is great.
Really?
Like, I think Rhea Ripley and Io Sky is going to be a fun team. It sure sounds like they're focusing more on the tag team titles than they are their world titles right now, which is a little concerning. But I
Just a
am looking,
smidge with
yeah,
Jade Cargill, newly turned heel, winning the women's title at Saturday Night's main event, and Stephanie Vaquer being Brock Lesnar to the top on Raw. Um,
yeah. It's just it is a little concerning, but I do enjoy that. But honestly, other than that, like, what is the fallout from this? It doesn't really feel like there's a fallout. And but you know what? I'll take this over whatever fucking fallout we're getting from the men's match because that just made me groan,
dude,
groan with indifference.
I we'll talk about that when we get to it because we have
Yeah.
something else that's very important to talk about. It's a milestone moment, and it's probably the main reason I even drove down to San Diego so I could support this man one more time. And it was an honor to be there for what would turn out to be his final pay-per-view match.
Before we talk about that, I got a bone to pick.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Remember back in the day when you would order a pay-per-view and in between matches you would get backstage promos, interactions with wrestlers,
Here we go.
all that fun stuff. Hell, maybe even an in-ring segment. Sure, they were cringy as fuck, but it was something that was relevant to the product. Now, okay, next up is a very important match. It is Dominik Mysterio challenging John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. You heard us right. John Cena is defending the Intercontinental Championship because for the first time and the last time in his career, he is the Intercontinental Champion, something a lot of people have been pining for. Not me personally, but it was really cool when John Cena, out of nowhere a couple of weeks ago in his hometown of Boston, won the Intercontinental Championship from Dominik Mysterio in the opening match. It was such a cool moment. I'm glad Cena is the Grand Slam champion now. It was nowadays in wrestling, it's so hard to surprise me. So I was very happy to be surprised there. And I honestly, this was harmless. I saw so many people getting so upset. Why are you ruining Dirty Dom's momentum? Why you don't need to put the title on Cena?
He's
This
working
was
with John
so like
Cena.
Jesus fucking Christ. Are you guys happy with anything?
He's working with John Cena. If anything, that is elevating his stock even more.
Exactly. So it's
You know?
like we all knew he was going to win back the championship tonight. So who fucking cares? Let us have some goddamn fun with our pro wrestling. So John Cena's last PLE. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the vibes. I'm feeling the feelings. I'm ready to fucking go. Great promo package leading into the match. The promo package is over, and then we get an ad break. Yeah, this fucking streaming service that I bundled with my Hulu and Disney Plus has an unskippable, unpausable ad break for 5 minutes. And you know what? Hey, I
Fuck
can
you,
adapt.
TKO.
It kind of worked in my favor. I was like, okay, perfect. I want to heat up some food. I want to go to the bathroom because I don't want if there is one part of any show that I do not want to pause because I don't want to be I want to be there in the moment as it is happening. It is John Cena's last PLE match. So I went, heated up some food, went to the bathroom. Fuck, I think I even threw a load of laundry in. Cool, ready to go. I sit down, the ad break's over, and then there's two more WWE commercials, and I'm like, God fucking damn it.
Do
Okay.
you do you want to hear something from my perspective?
Yeah, let me just finish up here, and I would love
Yeah.
to hear your perspective.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
those
go for
commercials
it.
go by. Okay, fine. Fuck, let's go. A WWE sponsorship. Like, God fucking damn it. Can we get on with the fucking match? You know what? If you would have did this before the promo package, fine, sure, I can accept that. This was after though. I So they run this sponsorship. I'm like, okay, let's fucking go. Then they start showing celebrities in the arena, and I'm like, God fucking damn it, WWE,
And they didn't
get
even
the
bring in
fuck
Macaulay Culkin for that spot.
no,
Blasphemy.
get the fuck on with it. It felt like 10 fucking minutes
Because it
between that
was.
promo package and Dominik Mysterio's entrance.
I could have very easily gone over to get a hot dog at the concession stand while all that shit was going on. And you want to know one of the other things that was happening that really grinded my gears when in the building waiting for this match to start? You know how when you go to the TV tapings and you're there in the building, during the commercials for the live audience, they do the sign of the night? They did that. They did that at the show. And I was like, this is a pay-per-view.
This
What
a
am I
fucking
looking at
house show?
here? This is a pay-per-view. Why are you
Like,
showing me the sign of the night? I don't give a shit about that.
at least
Like,
not right now. You want to do that in between, like the main event and something, sure. But this is John Cena's last PLE. We're all like on the edge of our seats waiting for this man to come out.
it was the whole reason I went, basically.
But it's just
Like,
like, God damn. And people are wondering like how the fuck are these pay-per-views so long when there's 4 or 5 matches? It's because they want the fucking ad space. WWE is disgusting with the
yeah.
ads right now. They're fucking everywhere. They're before the show. They're during the show. They're before matches. They're after matches. You got sponsorships in the ring. You got sponsorships on the LED ring post. You have sponsorships on the ring apron. You have sponsorships on the barricades. You have
As
sponsorships
if
on
you
the
guys
announce
didn't
table.
have enough money already with how much you're charging us for tickets.
You have the fucking Prime Hydration Station. You have sponsors on the fucking Tron. Everywhere is just littered with fucking sponsors. And look,
Yeah.
I know this isn't a new practice. I know NASCAR. Look at NASCAR. Those NASCAR drivers would get paid a fucking dime if their uniforms and their cars weren't littered with sponsorships. I know it's a thing. I know back in the old days of WCW, Slim Jim was branded right in the fucking middle of the ring mat. You know what? AEW is guilty of it too. They got a couple of sponsorships on their aprons. They got a couple of sponsorships on their ring mats. But the fucking weapons are sponsored now.
If I have to see one more DraftKings commercial from AEW, I might jump off a building.
Like, I get why sponsorships are a thing. They pay the bills. I fucking get it. But goddamn WWE, fucking lighten up. Lighten up. I just look at the ring mat nowadays and I go, this is a fucking mess. This is a clustered, overstimulating fucking mess. If it was just Prime, sure. If it was just Tap Out, sure. If it was just Slim Jim, sure. But every fucking square inch of the ring and the apron and the LED boards and the announce tables and the weapons is fucking sponsorships. And it makes me want to puke up Tide and Lay's potato chips and whatever random sponsor I can think of. Like, God,
Puke up
fucking,
Slim Jims because
yes.
those are
God,
Slim Jims are puke inducing for real though.
God fucking damn WWE. Give it a break.
Yeah, but once the entrances do start, Dominik does walk down to the ring with Roxanne and Raquel. He is the AAA Mega Champion. Um, and the anticipation in that building for John Cena coming out. Not one person had their phone in their pocket. Everybody's phone was pointed at the entrance because they wanted to capture it. You know?
Including yours.
Oh my, yeah, it's on the vlog. It's
Oh,
on the
perfect.
vlog. It's on the
I didn't
vlog,
even know.
definitely.
I didn't even know you had a second channel, so I'm gonna have to subscribe.
It's the ZNL Magic Crew. It's Zack and Lindsay. So it's just things that are not review oriented and things that are like more centered around like, oh, this is like, the geeky stuff that we both enjoy. But anyway, what were your thoughts when Cena was walking down?
Oh man, the heartstrings were being tugged on. I will say this was the one entrance where I was like, Cena, take your time. Take
And he
your
did.
sweet time. And the
He
funny
really
thing
did.
was, I'm sure there's gonna be some people like, oh my God, it was ruined because of this. I loved how endearing this was. John Cena was so excited, he actually collided with Stu, the cameraman. And he
Yeah.
took like a full minute to look at him and be like, hey, sorry about that. Had to include Stu in my last entrance. You doing good, Stu? And like he had a whole like conversation with Stu. And if
Well,
you
and
don't
he
know
and he had a
the relationship,
conversation.
yeah,
He had a conversation with the people watching at home. He's like, Stu's got his son behind him pulling cord. It's a
yeah.
father son day here at the ballpark, and I
It's
didn't.
like it. if you don't know the relationship between John Cena and Stu the cameraman, you need to get on that shit because it's just been this ongoing thing for years and years and years where Cena points at Stu, refers to him as name, and says like, "You ready to go to work?" And God, God bless Stu the cameraman every single week for years and years and years, keeping up with John Cena when he sprints to the ring. It's
Yeah,
a special relationship that doesn't get recognized as much as it should.
it's it's unbeatable.
Yeah,
And you know what else is unbeatable is John Cena's passion for this.
yeah,
Nobody else loves WWE more than this guy. Like you'd be hard pressed to find somebody like I'm sure everybody loves doing their jobs here. John Cena was he's always the guy who's like the first to show up and the last one to leave.
yeah.
This is a man who put his heart and his soul into this. Um, and damn, and just being there like in the moment with him, it was like, wow. It was
It's,
absolutely surreal.
you would think after all of these years, John Cena would have some sort of ego where he would think he's bigger than all of the boys and girls in the back, but he doesn't. He's still the guy that will be chilling at ringside before a show, chatting it up with the boys, offering advice, like clowning around with them. I always think back to that infamous shoot interview that Simon Gotch of the Vaudevillains did after he was released from WWE, and someone asked him about Cena and said, "Is Cena to himself or is he one of the boys?" And Simon Gotch said, "No, no, he's one of the boys. He would
Yeah.
always be in the locker room, goofing off like he was one of the boys to this day." John Cena paid a visit to the Performance Center recently, and he was very impressed to the point where he wants his final match to be dedicated to the stars of NXT.
Yeah, his final show next week actually at the time of recording, which is nuts to think about that the farewell tour is basically gonna wrap up
Um,
next week.
you would
So,
think that pro wrestling wouldn't be seen as priority anymore, but it is. And not just, oh, this is what made me famous. I'm going to go in there, do my shit, and leave. No, he cares about the business. He
yeah.
cares about who he's wrestling. He cares about who else is on the card. He cares about every square inch of the pro wrestling business. And that's why I think John Cena is better than The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've come to kind of realize that, especially over this last year or so, with like, how The Rock has kind of ruined a lot of things, wrestling wise, especially with Cena's heel turn earlier this year, ironically enough. Uh, there is not a selfish bone in John Cena's body.
Here's a hot take that I just came up with. The Rock was using John Cena's heel persona to project his feelings onto us. I want to ruin professional wrestling. Yeah, that's what The Rock wanted to do because he realized everybody doesn't love him anymore.
Yeah. And then when Cena did his little babyface turn before SummerSlam, he was like, the people who promised me, the people who promised me this shock TV, they left me alone, high and dry. The only platinum rapper coming in to beat your ass is me.
Yeah,
And he actually did mention on when his interview on Jimmy Kimmel recently that he does still listen to that "The Time Is Now" album from time to time. Or no, not "The Time Is Now." You can't see
yeah, that's
me,
what it's
right?
called. That's what
Yeah,
it's called.
no, I
Oh,
mix it
oh
up,
wait,
but
no, 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 it is called You Can't See Me. But unfortunately, he did say he will not be re-releasing it as the 20th anniversary
come on,
because
John, you got
he
do it for the
fucking coward,
fans.
fucking
Do it for the
coward.
fans.
He
Do
says he wants to move on from that as well. And I'm just like, God damn it, Cena, you fucking coward. Re-release the album with 5 new bonus tracks.
So this is only his 12th appearance at Survivor Series, which seems low by comparison to a lot of the other legends of the business. It's his first time competing at Survivor Series, I think since 2017 when he was a part of Team SmackDown in that Under
Yeah.
Siege storyline. So, um this his final pay-per-view match is pay-per-view match number 177 according to Michael Cole. He has
Just
100 victories on pay-per-view. So,
just because it's been brought up, I do need to say, if we're talking about the best Survivor Series match John Cena has had, 2009 versus Triple H and Shawn
yeah.
Michaels. If you haven't seen that
Yeah.
match, go watch it. It's
But
one
he
of the
hasn't
bright
Other
spots of the PG era.
other than that, you'd be hard pressed to find like the quintessential Survivor Series match for John Cena. Aside from that,
No, but you could say that about a lot of wrestlers.
yeah,
Survivor Series has always been, the redheaded stepchild of the Big Four.
yeah. I was hoping that's what this match with Dom would have been. The crowd was electric, like the whole way through, which I loved seeing and loved feeling, you know.
Okay, let me say
Um,
this now. I like this match. I
I
like
did
this match
too.
a
I
lot.
really
I
liked it.
had so much fun with it. It was so enjoyable. I thought this match played to both Cena and Dom's strengths. And was it an overbooked mess? Sure. But
Yes.
overbooked messes can be fun if done right. And I thought, I dare, you know what? I might get some heat from this. I thought this was overbooked almost to perfection.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
And
fun. It was very fun. And I hear the criticism about this match, and I'm like flabbergasted over it. People say,
so
"Oh, this is really going to be the Cena's last image on PLE." Yeah, putting over one of the stars of the future. Yeah, what a
yeah.
terrible fucking thing for them to
And
do.
the man who's going to win the men's Money in the Bank briefcase next year, you mark my fucking words on that.
What a
Dominic
horrible
Mysterio,
thing to do to put
Dominic
over.
Mysterio is perfect for this Money in the Bank briefcase. Like,
What a horrible thing for Cena to do to put over one of the most promising stars in WWE right now in his last PLE match. Yeah,
mhm.
Cena's whole legacy is fucking tarnished. What a joke. Go back to NXT, start over from square one, become the prototype again. God, touch grass. I swear, fucking touch grass. Um,
Do something outside. Have fun.
okay, fucking dumb. I gotta say, it's really hard to get me nowadays when it comes to pro wrestling.
Dude.
Dom fucking got me. So
Oh,
early on in the match, Cena and Dom are working on the outside, and Dom goes for a Hurricane Rana off of the barricade, and he lands very awkwardly on his shoulder. And I was like,
yes.
ooh, that was a rough landing. And Dom's not moving. He's grabbing his shoulder. He's wailing in pain. The referee is backing Cena off. He's checking on Dom, and I go, oh, fuck, he's hurt for real. We've seen this way too many times, unfortunately. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, God damn it, is this really how Cena's last PLE is going to go? Like, this is cursed. I swear, this is cursed. Sheamus got injured in the tournament. Penta got injured in the tournament. Now
Yeah.
Dom is injured. Like, this
And
fucking sucks.
Penta got injured in a pretty similar spot that Dom was doing here against Cena, and Penta's landing looked a lot safer than Dom's landing looked. And I was sitting there in my seat. I was like, "Oh my God, you got to be kidding me!" John Cena's final pay-per-view is gonna end like this with the referee throwing up the dreaded X. And
And
I hope Dom is okay. But
And
then what
I thought of
happened?
you when this happened because I just had flashbacks to us at WrestleMania when Shane McMahon tore
Dude.
both of his quads, and me and you looked at each other and go, I don't think that was supposed to happen.
That wasn't supposed to happen, but in hindsight, that was funny, and
Yeah,
I hate saying that, but it's
it was
like
fucking insane.
this would have been tragic if the injury was real. But what happens next, and I kind of caught a glimpse of what was happening while this was going on. Raquel Rodriguez hits a Tahana bomb on John Cena.
Which was fucking awesome.
You heard me right. And then Roxanne Perez hits Pop Rocks on John Cena.
Which was fucking awesome.
And then Dominic Mysterio, the little sneaky shithead, gets up, goes hits a 619 of the frog splash, and it's a fucking 2 count. And I was like, man, that
Well,
was.
to be fair, like the way the referee was selling it, it's like, wait, the match isn't over. There was just interference. Dom, what the
Oh,
fuck are
wait.
you
No,
doing?
no, no. The ref didn't count. The ref
Yeah,
didn't count because he
he was
saw
thinking
that.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the ref didn't count. And he was like, he looks at Raquel and Roxanne. He's like, you, ooh, wee.
And when Dom ran into the ring to get the pin, I just sat up and I screamed, Dominik, you little fucking bitch. I really thought you were hurt. Like he
And
got me. He fucking got me.
do
And I
you
remember the text I said to him, big ass letters, Dom, you little fucking ass.
Do you remember when he was wrestling Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania and our section was chanting something at him? Do you remember what they
Yeah,
were chanting?
yeah, of course I do. Of
Culero,
course I do.
culero, culero. In Dominic's hometown, there were loud culero chants at him.
And I'm
Like
just like, once it finally like dawned on me, I'm like, God damn, Dominik Mysterio, he is probably the best fucking performer in WWE right now. He
he
gets it. He
really
just
is.
fucking gets it. It's kind of
The
like this business is in his blood.
Yeah, they should. It's like WWE should push the youth movement or something
Yeah.
and have Dominic be at the forefront.
And
So
let me guess, he was just paying homage to his father.
yeah, yeah, no, he wishes he could and I was yelling, "Do it for your dad, Eddie Guerrero," and people were laughing at me. So I was like, "Hey, I'm glad people got that joke."
By the
Um,
way, what did Greg say about the possibility of Dom losing this match?
oh God, he said, "Well, Dom's too sexy to lose this match."
I mean,
You know,
he's right. He's right.
Dom's too sexy to lose. That's gonna live rent free in my head.
Yeah, it is. It already is.
Yeah, so he tries the attempted like Eddie Guerrero spot, just like his dad used to do at WrestleMania 20. Tried to take the boot off, tried to hit Cena with it, and then an attitude adjustment on Dom gets a near fall. And then what happens is the Judgment Day comes out. Finn Balor runs down with a Funko Pop, and they start beating up John Cena. And I popped for this. I don't care. Cena picks up these two little Irish dickheads and hits them with a double AA. And I
Oh,
was
real
like,
quick, I am going to comment that on too, but I'm going to say this, and I can say this because I'm Hispanic. Well, why is Finn Balor dressing like a cholo nowadays? He's got the oversized shirt and the oversized pants. And I'm just sitting here going, all you got to do is just keep the top button buttoned and put on a bandana, and you're doing your best Conan impression. I
yeah,
think Finn Balor's been hanging around Dom a little too much. But the double attitude adjustment, man, flashbacks to WrestleMania 25 when he
yeah.
did that shit to Big Show and Edge. And it
This,
was funny because Cena flawlessly hits that double AA onto Balor and McDonough. And the fans start chanting, "You still got it." But the way Cena is laying in the ring, the look on his face was like, I'm getting too old for this shit. I need to retire.
I'm old, I'm hurt, I'm fucking tired, and I work with fucking children. But he also there was a point where he does the five knuckle shuffle and he's looking around. He's like, "Hey, get ready, get ready!" And then he goes down to start it, and everybody does the "You can't see me," but he didn't do it yet. He faked us out, and then he actually does it, and then he's like, "Good job."
Yeah, the fans were very eager to do the "You Can't See Me" for probably the last five knuckle shuffle. No, it is the last five knuckle shuffle we're ever going to see on a PLE, and that's when it started hitting me. Like we are one match away of Cena not doing this anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And okay, the finish to this match, okay, was clever, I will say, but after we just got the fake out of a lifetime with the injury, there was no, I saw where this was going a million miles away. And if you didn't, then I'm sorry, that's a you problem.
Yeah. So Liv Morgan makes her big return, runs down, smacks Dom right in the face, and John Cena makes a very meme-like reaction to Liv jumping up and hugging him. And the camera zooms in on Liv, and the facial expression changes, just like John Cena did back in February at the Chamber when he was hugging Cody before he kicks Cody in the dick. Liv then breaks free of the embrace, kicks Cena right in the balls. And I was like, this is the finish. This is the fucking finish. Dom
Championship to the face. Dom gets the cover. One, two, three, and Dominik Mysterio is your brand new Intercontinental Champion.
regains
And
it.
there's this awesome image of Liv Morgan jumping into Dom's arms, pyro going off in the background, him holding both of his championships in the air. And I'm just sitting there going, if you would have told me 10 years ago that Rey Mysterio's son would be one of the biggest stars in the company, one of the most over heels in the company, and would have defeated John Cena in his last PLE for a championship in one of the biggest shows of the year, I would have said you're certifiably insane. But here
I
we are.
yeah, no, that's kind of what Cena gets though for turning heel at the Chamber. Because it kind of
Yeah, right.
what goes around comes around. Cena kind of deserved it. So, and I'm sure Cena would be the first one to admit that too. But Cena is not the Intercontinental Champion for long. He did win his Grand Slam for the moment, but um, in hindsight, I am glad that he did lose the belt here because his final match does not need to be about the Intercontinental Championship.
No.
Uh, and it was confirmed as the crowd was chanting "Thank you, Cena," um, in the stadium, and I certainly was, and I was paying my respects. Uh, Later on, it was confirmed that John Cena's final opponent is in fact Gunta. So
I'm
that's a
looking
dream
forward to this
match and a
match.
half.
I'm
And
looking forward to this match. And Guta,
what the fuck happened to the discourse on social media surrounding Gunther? I know Hunter loves him a bit of Gunther, and I know he books him like a freaking final boss and a half. Um, just because the lead of creative loves somebody does not mean that you have to dogpile on him. Because
so
Gunther
okay,
is one of the most talented pro wrestlers in the world.
I'm glad you brought this up because it has me scratching my head too. Because Gunta, as the kids say, understands the assignment. Because after he won his match, he looks at the camera and says, John Cena, you should and will give up because I'm going to make you tap out. And I'm just like, God damn, he sold me on that match with that one sentence.
That's the story of the match at Saturday Night's main event. Will John Cena give up?
Gunta is going to destroy all of her childhoods, and it's going to cement him as one of the biggest stars in the company. And I seriously want you to look at that and tell me what is wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm kind of rooting for John Cena to win. And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. John Cena is probably going to be very old school and he's going to insist on going out like with him looking up at the lights, but sometimes you know leads of creative can be very insistent that people go out on a triumphant note. Look at what happened with Sting last year. Sting wanted to lose. Tony Khan insisted that Sting stay undefeated and retire as a champion. Um, because John Cena lost this match to Dom in the way that he did, I'm not fully convinced that Gunther's beating him.
I
You
still
know?
want Gunta to win. I want Gunta to win because it's going to cement him as one of the all-time greats. And I think just the way Gunta presents himself as a heel, he's going to be able to ride this shit for years as being the guy who defeated John Cena in his last match. He's going to be able, I can't wait for the smart ass remarks he's going to make if he wins this match.
Well,
And I just,
he also retired Goldberg. So
yeah,
it's
I just,
not I
I'm
see,
going to be a little selfish and say I want Gunta to win because just because of the implications. But I will say this, and I'm not looking forward to this. If Gunta wins, I see the writing on the wall as we speak, and it's so ironic. Everybody's gonna pull out their little keyboards and start saying, Gunta sucks. He was never that good. He's just Triple H's little bitch boy. What did he ever do to deserve to beat John Cena? He can't wrestle. He's overrated. All he does is boring rest holds. And I'm already burying my face into my hands. And I'm just gonna say right now, what the fuck are y'all smoking? I want to know because it feels like fentanyl mixed with fucking weed you found at the bottom of a garbage disposal. Because if you can't look at Gunta and not recognize him as one of the greatest professional wrestling minds of our generation, you are on crack mixed with meth.
yeah. And I get what you're saying. I really do. But at the same time, Gunther tapped out to Jey Uso earlier in the year. I think if Cena beats him in a Super Cena way, Gunther's not going to be hurt.
Oh no, absolutely not. You
Gunther
are
is,
actually approaching this with a very logical mindset, and I respect that and I appreciate that. You're
yeah,
not coming out me with a bunch of bullshit like I've been reading on the internet. No, if Gunta loses, I'm not going to necessarily be upset. It's John Cena's last match. I would actually probably be pleasantly surprised if he did. I'm just thinking about the future and the implications of Gunta being the guy that destroyed our childhoods at the very end. And the thing about Gunta is he's the perfect person to do it because he's not going to have an ounce of remorse. He's going to
Well,
get on Monday Night Raw, he's going to get on that mic and tell everybody, I beat your hero. When you think of John Cena, you're going to think of him trapped in my sleeper hold and him tapping out. Mr. Never Gave Up. I made him give up.
which is a very enticing prospect. Again, I don't fully buy that it's actually going to happen that way because not only was Cena beaten by Dominik here in a very cheap manner in his final pay-per-view, he was also destroyed by Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. So,
But he also beat Logan Paul and he beat AJ Styles.
right, yeah, but
He also put on a clinic with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. And he was the WWE champion from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. Regardless of how you feel about the heel run, he was still the WWE champion.
yeah. So,
So I will say I do like the unpredictability going into next Saturday.
yeah,
It's going to be very interesting to see how this peters out. But to turn all of my anger and rage at something else, WWE, you have been ironically relying on John Cena this whole year to put over your product. Because what if I have been saying, what has been the one consistent good thing of all of these PLEs, almost all of these PLEs? John Cena. But after next Saturday, John Cena ain't going to be around. You can never pull the John Cena card and be like, uh-oh, viewership's down. Let's put Cena on the Rumble. Uh-oh, viewership's down. Let's book Cena at WrestleMania. Uh-oh, viewership's down. Cena's not filming a movie. Let's bring him back onto TV for 6 weeks. You're not going to have that to rely on anymore. So
Cena's
Triple H,
done. Cena's done
WWE,
after next week.
and TKO, I present you with this question right here, right now. What are you going to do when John Cena's gone? Because after next Saturday, we are entering uncharted territory. We are entering the same era we entered after WrestleMania 26 when we realized no more Shawn Michaels. And that was actually a very interesting critique. Even though WrestleMania 27 was a piece of dog shit, someone brought up a very interesting critique. Everybody needs to understand that this was the first WrestleMania without Shawn Michaels since 2001 or
Yeah,
2002. So what is WWE going to do now that they don't have John Cena to rely on?
that's right. So I'm gonna miss him for sure. But I will support him in all of his future endeavors as the Peacemaker for sure, and as he digs deeper into the Hollywood world. This match with Dom, I'm inclined to give it 3 3/4 stars. Honestly, I really did like it.
I'm gonna give
You,
it four.
you give it four. Okay, all right, that's
I'm
not what
giving
I was
it four.
expecting. Yeah,
I'm giving it four purely, and you know what? This is one of those. I'm a fucking wrestling fan, and I'll feel however I want to feel. Out of the pure emotion I got from this match, that's what it gets. You know,
yeah,
was AJ Styles versus John Cena at Crown Jewel a 5-star match? Maybe in
yes,
some people's minds it wasn't, but it
yes,
was a 5-star match to me. We have this discussion all the time when we talked about our favorite matches of all time. You don't think Shawn Michaels versus Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 22 was a 5-star match, and that's totally okay. It
because it
was to me.
wasn't. Because it
It was
wasn't.
to me. You
Eh,
think that no, The Rock, The Undertaker, and Kurt Angle at Vengeance 2002 was a 5-star match.
because
It
it
wasn't to
was.
me, but that's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay to have opinions based on emotion. That's what
yeah.
pro wrestling is all about. And I know there's so many people out there are like, overbooked mess. Cena was made to look like a chump. Yada yada. It's like, it's Cena's last PLE. Like, Cena was really going to have to go out of his way to make this a dumpster fire of a match for me to hate it.
Yeah. And I really dug it. I don't know about
Yeah,
you all,
it was
but
fun. It was my match of the night.
yeah. Oh, it was definitely the match I was looking forward to seeing the most, and I think it delivered for the most part. Um, this next match, on the other hand, I will say these two were kind of in the death spot, so I kind of had some sympathy for them. But at the same time, I wasn't really expecting a whole lot out of it. I was actually
No.
more concerned about how much the challenger for the Women's World Championship was going to be botching this time. It's Nikki Bella challenging Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship. How this came around is Nikki Bella as the babyface mentor to a lot of the locker room, which is very funny in hindsight. She kind of took Stephanie Vaquer under her wing. Not that Stephanie Vaquer needed the help of basically WWE's equivalent of Kim Kardashian, but in any regard, Nikki Bella does turn heel on Stephanie, and it's like she doesn't win a number one contenders match. She doesn't win any sort of battle royal to earn this shot. Stephanie Vaquer basically goes to Adam Pearce and is like, "I want to teach Nikki Bella a lesson." That's a horrible Stephanie Vaquer impression. I don't know what she really sounds like all that much because she doesn't cut a lot of promos, but Adam Pearce does make it official for the Women's World Championship. Uh, I will say Nikki Bella is a stronger heel than she is a babyface. Um, but that doesn't mean that this match was all that fantastic in my eyes. I thought it was fine. These two,
Okay.
I don't think they shit the bed at all. Nikki Bella didn't really mess anything up to a considerable extent. Stephanie Vaquer absolutely carried the match. There's no doubt about that. But Nikki Bella did not look nearly as horrible as she did in Paris against Becky Lynch.
Gonna say this now, and I
Yeah,
know this is gonna open up so many controversies because everybody apparently feels differently. I'm not budging. Nikki Bella is not a good professional wrestler.
she's not.
She never was a good professional wrestler. Is she trying? Yes. You know what? She gets a gold star for effort, an A for effort. But she was not a good wrestler in 2007. She was not a good wrestler in 2009. She was not a good wrestler in 2014. She was not a good wrestler in 2017. I cannot think of one fucking Nikki Bella match that made me go, wow, she has improved. Not one single match. She
No.
is not a good professional wrestler. She did not define women's wrestling. She did not revolutionize an era like she claims that she did. She was in the right place at the right time with the right look that the WWE loved, and they capitalized on that. Her as a person, I'm sure she's perfectly fine. Good for her for getting out of her toxic relationship. I am glad she's in the WWE where she is happy and she can somewhat make something over this. But this is not, she does not hang well with the stars of today.
No. No,
Maybe
she
back then she was a glimmer in a sea of underwhelming women's wrestlers. But even then, you still had wrestlers like Beth Phoenix. You still had wrestlers like Mickey James. You still had wrestlers like Natalia. Hell, you had wrestlers like Candice Michelle who were
yeah,
showing more improvement than she
Melina,
ever did.
Melina,
Melina,
Michelle McCool. Um,
Layla, I'll even say Layla.
yeah,
But Nikki
Eve
Bella,
Torres.
yeah, Nikki Bella has never done anything that has truly impressed me. She got over on her popularity and that stupid Total Bellas, Total Diva shit. And she has not done anything for me in professional wrestling.
And
I
that
know
theme
this is
song, right?
very harsh, very, very, very harsh, but you could remove Nikki Bella from the history of professional wrestling, and I don't think it would change a goddamn thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on the part that I'm glad she's in WWE where she feels happy and where she can set a prime example for her little boy.
Yeah,
That's not around his dickhead of a father,
like,
you know?
good for her. I'm not sitting here wishing, I hope she gets fucking fired tomorrow because that's horrible. I would never wish anyone to lose their job or you don't belong or anything like that. But I just don't like this preconceived notion that just because she's popular and just because she was around in an era where she, I guess, stood out from the rest, that she is this revolutionary and the women's wrestling wouldn't be anything without her. I'm like, bullshit. You remember back in the day when I used to say I could name 30 wrestlers off the top of my head who are better than CM Punk? I can name
Yeah.
30 women's wrestlers off the top of my head that are better than Nikki Bella.
Easily. I could probably name 50 women's wrestlers that are better than Nikki Bella,
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
this match really didn't do anything for me. It didn't.
Including her twin sister, by the way. I do think Brie is the superior one.
Fair. Fair.
So,
It's
um,
just, I mean, trust me. And I will say this. I will, ease off a little and say there are worse than Nikki Bella, for sure. Not even Marie.
big time, big time. I would lump Nia Jackson in that conversation
Ooh,
because she's just
damn, that's
not
a
she's not safe.
hot take. That's a hot take.
She's not safe. She almost ended Kairi Sane's career.
That's a fucking hot take. I don't know
What,
whether I would
bruh,
agree with that or not.
bruh? Why do you think that Becky Lynch and Kairi Sane wanted to make sure they were on the same team as Nia Jax to make sure that she didn't fucking hurt them again?
Well, wow, I almost combined like Becky Lynch, Nikki, and Nia Jax all into one word. That is crazy. Nia Jax did make Becky Lynch famous. Just gonna say
Well,
that.
the, by a freak accident that didn't need to happen in a very errant punch to the face, which was very unsafe, but
While
it is
you
what it is.
explain the rest of this match, I am going to refill my water bottle because I have nothing to say about this match.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, this match was basically built around Stephanie Vaquer's setup to her finisher, which is known as the Devil's Kiss. I don't know if I need to explain what it is, but a lot of the male spectators in the audience really enjoyed this move. And
Ask Booker T how he feels about the Devil's Kiss.
Booker T is a horny dog when it comes to the Devil's Kiss, man. And the sounds that he would make on commentary when she did the move in NXT have now become a staple chant when she does the Devil's Kiss. Ah, 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 ah. Yeah, that's what it's built around. But she,
Akira Tozawa is going to sue for gimmick infringement.
yes, yeah, he better hope that Charmel was not listening to those sounds that he was making. But anywho, so she does the Devil's Kiss on the announce table. Nikki Bella tried to steal the Devil's Kiss at one point, which actually would have improved the match for me a little bit because you know how much I love stolen moves. But Stephanie Vaquer instead hits her beautiful looking spiral tap finisher and pins Nikki Bella to retain. Thank goodness. Didn't want Nikki Bella to have a short reign. I didn't think it was time to take the belt off of Stephanie because she's over with
Yeah,
these
putting the
people.
title on Nikki just for the sake of doing that would have been blasphemous.
Yes.
Um, there was another point. Here's the thing. I will say, when Nikki Bella came back to the WWE, I was willing to give her a chance because I do have this sort of strange, like guilty pleasure of when someone who used to be full time, who wasn't anymore, decides to come back. I was like, wow, this is
Hmm.
a little shot of nostalgia, shall you say? And but here's the thing: if Nikki is the veteran, it should be her job to put over the new talent she's in the ring with. It should be her job to make Stephanie Vaquer look like $1 million. It felt like it was the other way around. It felt like Stephanie Vaquer was trying to make Nikki Bella look good, which should never be the case.
No. Mm-mm.
Like, here's a crazy deep cut. Remember when Will Ospreay wrestled Vader?
I fucking forgot about that, man.
Yeah. And there was this
Oh,
big, huge controversy over Vader going over.
that is a
I
flex of a reference.
understand. I understand the frustration because it should be Vader's job to make Will Ospreay look like $1 million, not for Ospreay to fucking be looking at the lights to Vader of all people. I get it. Apparently, Ospreay gave his side of the story and was like, it was a privilege to, put over a legend. But at the same time, it's not your job to put over the legend. It's the legend's job to put over you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, which is why I think I'm going to give this match 2 and 3/4 stars. I think that's the best I can give it.
I will give
Um,
it 2.5.
it was fine. I mean, again, these two didn't like have a crap match or anything, but it felt like a better suited match for TV than it did for Survivor Series. You mean to tell me you couldn't put the Survivor Series elimination match on this show, but this deserved a spot on the card?
It's just crazy because all of the top tier women's talent on Raw was in the War Games match.
Yeah, yeah.
It, yeah, or there are two ladies that are on Raw who are completely omitted from this pay per view: Bailey and Lyra Valkyria.
Blasphemy.
You're gonna sit
Blasphemy.
there and tell me that Lyra Valkyria doesn't deserve a world title match? but Nikki Bella does.
That Bailey doesn't deserve a world title match with the character work she's putting in.
Like, I don't care what they're doing right now. You could easily pivot or like incorporate that into a women's world title match. You could have had the story of Lyra Valkyria challenging for a worst first world title and Bailey accidentally cost her the match. You
Yeah.
could have put over Bailey versus Stephanie Vaquer and Bailey losing and then absolutely taking out her frustrations on Lyra Valkyria. You could have incorporated that story easily into a world title match. I
Hmm.
just don't understand why this match needed to be here.
Yeah. I am right there with you, my friend. Um, and honestly, to an extent, I sort of don't understand why this main event needs to be a War Games match either. Like, but
Now,
it's
I
November.
will say, if you were ever to book a current WWE All Star game, your match is right here because
Hmm.
we have the Vision, who is Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and newcomer, yeah, you heard me right, newest member to the group, Logan Paul. Drew McIntyre from SmackDown, I'm going to put heavy emphasis on that because, of course, I am. And Brock Lesnar, take a minute to groan. It's okay. Versus
I don't give a shit about Brock Lesnar.
the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, Jimmy and Jay the Usos, and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
How
that's an
the
insane lineup for a War Games match, for sure.
Okay, I will say the beginning to this build, I actually dug because at first I thought we were going to get CM Punk versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship, which I am still not opposed to. I don't think we're going to get it, but I like that direction we were going in. But
Nah.
it ended up just being the same old, a lump guys together to fight a bunch of other lump of guys together. And I'm not going to lie, when Cody Rhodes got involved in this for reasons, I tuned out. I tuned out because this
Yeah.
is not Cody Rhodes' problem. He's the champion of the other show. He
You
is the champion of the other show.
could have had Drew McIntyre challenge him for the title here and have Drew win, but he tried to do that at Saturday Night's main event and he failed again. But you
Yeah.
know, and
So I
I'm
just
saying this as a Cody Rhodes fan, you
and
know.
then you do this weird angle with Drew McIntyre where he gets suspended from SmackDown, but then 2 weeks later, Paul Heyman requires his services in the War Games match for reasons. It didn't feel like Drew McIntyre was in this match as Cody Rhodes' rival. It felt like he was in here to fill a spot.
Yeah.
There was no story to this War Games match. None
No.
of it.
It was just, hey, how many big names can we put in this cage to put 45,000 people in this building? You know? That
And
that's what that's what it felt like.
you can make a case for 2 years ago when it was the Brawling Brutes and was Cody in that?
No, it was no, Cody was hurt at that point. It was Brawling
You're right.
Brutes,
You're right.
Drew, and Kevin Owens
Yes,
going
versus
against
the
the
Bloodline.
Bloodline. Yeah.
Easily make a case for that because there was a feud going on. You can make a case for last year when it was CM Punk and Roman Reigns teaming up for the first time in the Fader stuff. Like there was a story in that. This felt like there was no story to this. There
Yeah.
was no reason. The Vision just turned on Seth Rollins. They're still fucking
Well,
around with the same old names on Raw, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and CM Punk. And then, like
and
I said, sure, like big brother, Big Jim is gonna come and join his brother, but why is
Big
Cody here?
Jim.
I don't understand why is Cody here.
Well, and it's the same exact fucking team we got last year for the baby faces, just swapping in Cody for Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
Did you ever notice that?
yeah.
Ridiculous, but CM Punk does start the match for the baby faces against Braun Breaker for the heels. CM Punk, it
Which
is, it
I
is,
will say was very interesting having
yeah,
Punk start out with Breaker.
and that's a good match on paper, I think.
Yeah,
But I would like
foreshadowing.
to, yeah, yeah, it is foreshadowing. I would like to take a moment though because CM Punk does come out with what looks like Halloween 3 inspired gear, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me in this context, but there was a patch on his chest that said Larry's dad in cursive, And
And
I
at
didn't,
first, I will say, I thought that was just, Punk always shows love to his dog because his
yeah,
dog, other than his wife,
but
is his favorite
he
thing on the
he
planet.
clutched that patch so hard during his
Yeah.
entrance, and it turns out that Larry actually passed away earlier this week, which is heartbreaking. Like I don't wish that upon anybody,
No,
especially if you bond as closely as you do with your pet. Like, and Larry is kind of a legend in wrestling lore in a lot of
she
ways,
really is. And,
you
and,
know?
and she really is. I said she because it reminded me of, if you don't understand like the gravity of this, um, Alexa Bliss had a pet pig that she was closer to than anything on this planet. And when he passed away, Bliss was not okay for weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bonds people have with their animals, like my heart goes out to Punk, my heart goes out to AJ. I've had to put down two cats and a dog in my life, and it's never fucking easy. Um, Larry is a goddamn legend, and I'm glad you brought that up because, Larry the dog is the toughest motherfucker in pro wrestling. He was in the fucking, in the trenches. He was a part of that fight he was part of Brawl Out with the
He
Elite
is
and CM Punk, and he took
yeah.
a fucking bump.
And Kenny Omega tried to save the dog, and
He took a fucking bump.
he's the only dog in the history of the world to ever appear in WWE locker rooms, AEW locker rooms, and UFC locker rooms.
Yeah.
So that is
Eat your
a
heart out, Pharaoh.
eat your eat your fucking heart out, Pharaoh. Jeez, his goofy ad dog. Like, my
Let
gosh.
me guess. You want to see Pharaoh versus Drew McIntyre's cat.
No, Pharaoh would eat that cat alive. So to
Or
that,
let me guess. You want to meet Drew McIntyre so you can see pictures of his cat.
and so I can show him pictures of my cat who's literally just sleeping right there.
Your cat who's named after a rat.
You know what? Off is the direction you can fuck. So
Fair.
anyway, uh, so yeah, my heart goes out to Punk and AJ. It's yeah, never an easy time to go through that, but him and Braun Breaker starting off was very interesting. Drew McIntyre and Cody soon joined the match after that, and the crowd was singing Cody's theme song as they were singing CM Punk's theme song.
And let me guess, you were too.
Yes, I was. Braun Breaker landed very hard off of a Doomsday device that Cody and Punk delivered to him,
Goddamn.
which did not look comfy. Punk then hit a Dusty style elbow on Drew, and then fucking Logan Paul comes out after that, and I'm like, he's not going anywhere. I don't like it.
He, this is probably the least offensive he has ever been.
Right?
Got
Yeah.
to admit, the least offensive.
Right.
I mean, still more offensive. Like, I think the most lighthearted Logan Paul we ever got was him in the Elimination Chamber, fucking doodling on the chamber while he was waiting for his turn. And that was the
Jeez.
one moment I go, God damn, Logan, why can't you be like this all the Why can't you be likable?
Why
Why
can't
can't
you
you
why
be
can't you
likable?
why can't you stay out of trouble?
Yeah.
You
Why
know?
can't you be a likable person?
When you're in
Because there is a
Japan,
if you
why don't you just put the camera away?
if you dig through the trenches of my heart, like the very deepest trenches of it, you will find a tiny little fraction of me that likes Logan Paul. But any of that gets extinguished by his behavior. That I'm just like, why can't it's not that I want to like him. It's like I want to like him. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It goes deep. It goes very deep.
it really does. But there was also spots where CM Punk was bleeding, which I'm sure is something he had to lobby for in a War Games match, because Punk and Drew bled heavily in that Hell in a Cell match last year. Blood really does like this match with this build didn't really warrant blood for me. But I'm glad CM Punk at least got what he wanted, real blood. Go cry me a river. Bronson Reed also hits a tsunami storm on all the baby faces when he enters the ring. Thank God he doesn't do one from the top of the cage this time. I think
Did
this
he
guy is
prove, did he show in this match why he was big? Because, he's big, Bronson Reed. And I'm
did
still trying
Jimmy
to figure out what's
did
so big about him.
because he's fat. It's kind of
That's
square.
messed up, man. That's fucked up. I have
Jesus
been
Christ.
asking my coworkers that, like, would you be intimidated by a man named Big Bronson Reed? And they all say the same thing. It sounds like he's overcompensating for something.
Easy, easy. Would you be intimidated by a man who calls himself Big Jim?
Sounds like he's overcompensating for something.
Yeah. And he's going to be a father pretty soon, so it doesn't sound like he's overcompensating for anything.
Mhm.
But anyway, Jey Uso comes out. You want to talk about fucking entrances? This guy is like the crowd is yeeting, and he super kicks everybody, and then he looks at the cameraman who's standing in the cage to run it back, and I'm like, you do not need to do it a second time. And I'm
So
literally picture me. I'm in the stadium right now, and Greg is not yeeting like the second time either. But I'm looking around, and I'm like, you guys are all idiots right now. Like, why are we
did he
doing this?
eat the first time?
No.
Greg
No,
didn't eat? What the fuck?
Greg didn't yeet at all. I yeeted at least for the first round, and I was like,
So here's the
that's
thing.
enough.
I remember when I texted you when I was watching that, I go, I forgot. Do we hate Jey Uso still? Because I still don't hate the guy. And you said, no, I don't hate him either. And then like seconds after that, I sent another text that said, he's eating in the middle of the match. Come the fuck on, man.
Why
Like,
is he yeeting in the middle of a War Games match?
I have to admit though, I did really like this sequence because in the middle of Jey Uso's second round of eating, it immediately stops and it gets cut off by Brock Lesnar's music. And I
Which was
remember the
good.
text I sent you after that. I said, "Oh, it's Brock Lesnar. Everybody dies now." And that's exactly what happened.
When you
Everybody died.
and I didn't mention this because we didn't review WrestlePalooza formally. We talked about it on like the catch up pod that we did. Brock Lesnar coming back, I'm indifferent towards it. I don't need it, but I will say Brock looks fucking bigger than he's ever been. This guy's fucking enormous and is an absolute unit of a man, even like more so than he was in his prime. Um, no pun intended with Logan Paul in there. Paul Heyman accompanies Brock Lesnar down the aisle, and first off, Brock Lesnar is a very forgiving individual in kayfabe because Paul
Yeah,
Heyman, throughout Brock's career, has betrayed this man not once but twice.
yeah,
And we've covered both of those turns extensively on this podcast, and I'm like, how has Brock forgiven this guy? You know,
yeah.
it's very easy to forgive, and it seems like Brock's also forgotten about it. But admittedly, it does feel something feels right about Paul Heyman accompanying Brock to ringside,
I
doesn't
will
it?
say, Brock Lesnar's another one. Not that I want to like him. I just look at him and go, God damn, I wish you weren't such a piece of shit.
Yeah, when you're named 44 times in a sex trafficking lawsuit, you kind of lose a lot of respect from me. Uh,
I will say, we forgot to point out at WrestlePalooza, somebody had a sign that said he shouldn't be here, and we know why. Somebody at Survivor
yeah,
Series had a sign that said it feels weird that he's here, and we all know why.
yeah,
Something it said like something along the lines like this. Something doesn't feel right here
yeah. Brock Lesnar guy was also at Survivor Series.
because his
Yeah,
boy is back. Of course he is.
his boy
That's
is
his
back.
boy.
Yeah, no, he's not all elite anymore. He made the jump back, right? Yeah,
Vaquer.
just like green shirt guy was also sitting in the front row. And
You should have met him.
apparently he's paying for all of his tickets, according to Nick Khan. He's not a WWE
Yeah,
employee. What the
yeah.
fuck does this guy do for a living? I that
Two
is
questions I have. No, three questions that I have. What does he do for a living? Why the green shirt? And the third most important one, what the fuck is his name?
why do you look like James Ellsworth?
And I will say, I think I just answered my own question. I don't think he's ever going to find out his name because the minute people do find out his name, he better like move to a different planet because someone's going to try and murder him.
Jesus Christ. So Lesnar suplexes everybody after Jey Uso was sexually assaulting the top of the steel cage.
I
Uh,
see. That was one of those moments where I wasn't fucking paying attention. I guess I have to go back and watch that because everybody's talking about that.
oh man, he was groping the top of that wire, man.
He had his fucking way with that.
He was he was going into business for himself, clearly. Uh so Brock is hitting F5s. It's a big tornado inside the War Game structure. But good God Almighty, Roman Reigns comes out and all the ones are in the air. And I'm acknowledging the tribal chief. Everybody is, but I'm like, it's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns again. Like, I don't need to see these two wrestle each other ever again. And
To quote
the
to
people
quote
in my
Solid
section,
Monster,
yeah, go for it.
to quote Solid Monster, I was lied to. You lied to me. You told me SummerSlam was going to be the last time they ever wrestled, and you fucking lied to me.
You fucking
This is
lied
why
to
I have
me.
trust issues.
And Chris, if you're watching this, my friend Chris Ludecki, he was, I think, one of the people in my section who was trolling me about this. But I was yelling at the top of my lungs. I was like, I don't need to see you two wrestle each other anymore. And then everybody was like, well, what are you talking about? This is the first time ever. These two have never wrestled each other. I was like, what the fuck are you guys on?
WrestleMania 31, WrestleMania
I
34, the
was
greatest
there.
Royal
I was
Rumble,
there for the first one.
SummerSlam 2017, day one. No, not day
No,
one. That was
not day
the
one
show
because
Roman Reigns got
Roman got
pulled from.
COVID.
Fucking WrestleMania 38, SummerSlam 2022. Fucking there's like other matches that I'm like forget. Oh, Crown Jewel 2022. No, 2021. Crown Jewel 2021. You've
Shortly
seen
after
this
Brock
match.
came back.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
many fucking times.
I'm so done with these two going at it. Really. Logan Paul has his brass knuckles. Roman Reigns takes the brass knuckles away from Logan Paul and hits Superman punches with the brass knuckles, which is like Roman Superman punch is pretty lethal, but you put brass knuckles in this guy's hand, that's it. It's all game over right there. Um, and it's very interesting also earlier, like now that I'm thinking more and more about the match, how you were talking about Cody and Drew being in there for the sake of being in it. You take them out of this match and it probably wouldn't have changed anything.
No,
Really. Like you eliminate Cody versus Drew from this War Games dynamic. It does not change a goddamn thing. Cody was over when he came out for sure, but he was for the most part a non-factor, which is crazy to say that. As much as I
the
love Cody.
WWE champion and the world heavyweight champion were on the same team, and it didn't feel like it.
No. No.
Like, could you imagine
So,
back in the day, like John Cena and Batista being on the same team, or
yeah,
like Undertaker and Triple H being on the same team,
it was
The
more
Rock and
about
Stone Cold Steve Austin being on the same team?
it was more about Punk versus Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
That was the main story of this match.
Even
Um,
Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns didn't even feel like that much of a factor in this match.
well, Brock was in there just to be a killer, because
Yeah.
he put like Roman through a table, I think, with an F5, and then he throws Roman back into the cage, and then the War
Or
Games begins, and then
think
Brock was
about
like,
it this
yeah,
way. Think about it this way. Roman Reigns was there just to neutralize Brock Lesnar. Because if you take Roman Reigns out of the equation, Brock Lesnar would have just fucking murdered everybody,
yes, he would
including
have.
both world champions.
And then he would be charged with a different illegal thing for
Yeah.
sure. So anyway, yeah, don't murder anybody. Just for the record. Did I just say that? Don't murder anybody. CM
Yeah.
Punk hits a GTS on Logan for near fall. And then this is where the finish comes in. And it's kind of anticlimactic the more and more I think about it. There's a dude
It was
wearing all
anticlimactic because
black,
it came out of nowhere.
with a mask on comes into the ring. He climbs into the cage, and you'll hear me yell this in the video, in the vlog, because I caught footage of this. I was like, "Who is this?" And everybody was like yelling out possibilities, like, "Oh, it's Randy Orton," and I'm like, "This guy's way too small to be Randy Orton." Randy Orton looks like he could eat Batista now. There's
Yeah.
no way. There's no way that's Randy Orton. Um, the masked man hits the ropes. And as I was joking that it's El Grande Americano, he hits a curb stomp just like Seth Rollins would. And everybody was thinking it's Seth Rollins, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that it's Seth. There's no way. Because that turn from Braun Breaker and the Vision on their visionary, that would make absolutely no sense, and it would prove to be a moot point if it turned out to be Seth all along. So just throwing that out there, it's not fucking Seth Rollins. And then Braun Breaker takes a look. He runs the ropes at 23 miles an hour, spears CM Punk, and pins the World Heavyweight Champion to win War Games for his team. That right there, and it was solidified on Raw following up that Braun Breaker will be challenging CM Punk for the belt on January 5th. Put the belt on Braun Breaker right now. Don't wait until WrestleMania. Don't wait until SummerSlam. Don't wait until Survivor Series next year. Put the belt on Braun Breaker right now while the iron
It,
is hot on January
it,
5th. Do not wait for the Rumble. Do not wait for him to win the Rumble to go on to WrestleMania. Put the belt on him right now. Strike
it's
while the iron is hot.
it's almost a foregone conclusion at this point that Breaker has to win this title because he pinned the world champion in the
Yeah.
main event of Survivor Series. It was like designed that way. So I would be very, very, very surprised if WWE fumbles this. And on top of all of that, Braun Breaker cut the promo of his career on Monday. That if you go back and listen to it, you just leave that going, oh, yeah, they're putting the title on this guy. My only issue with it was,
They better.
you know what I was saying during the wrestling catch up where like Braun Breaker feels like he's been demoted ever since putting, being put in the Vision. It's kind of like the last 7 or 8 months have been irrelevant, and they're just picking right off where they wanted to with Braun Breaker. And now I'm right back to saying this man is the future of this company because he
Yeah.
is. He has it all. He has the look. He has the skill. He has the promo ability. This man is the total package, and he has a world heavyweight champion written all over him. So
Yeah,
you need
except
to put the title on him. And if for some reason they don't want to put the title on him, I'm sure CM Punk is going to fucking rally and petition to drop this title to Braun Breaker.
like not not any later than the Royal Rumble. Because if you wait for Braun Breaker to, let's say, because there was some floating around that Braun Breaker was the favorite to win the Royal Rumble, and while I'm not opposed to that idea, I don't think it's the most productive, like, when you're looking at the
No,
whole main event scene. Because Braun Breaker, this is something I was mentioning in the catch-up pod. He's only 28 years old. He's got his whole career ahead of him. When you look at WWE's whole main event scene right now, it's guys in their 40s on average. You need to really start hammering down on the youth movement, you know?
Dominik Mysterio, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed,
Yes,
Ilya Dragunov.
that's right.
There's so much young and hungry talent on the roster that
And
you need to start investing in right
Braun
now. Like
Breaker is the start of that. And
we
the
don't know how many more years CM Punk has left in him. Cody
no,
Rhodes started alluding to that this contract he's on right now may be his last WWE contract. Uh, you can't rely on Brock Lesnar anymore. John Cena's on his way out. AJ Styles is on his way out. You can't rely on these older people anymore. You have to take advantage of the youth that you have right now. It always reminds me of that 2009 WWE Magazine edition where they planted out all of the young stars. I'm talking about your John Morrisons, your Miz's, your Evan Bournes, your Kofi Kingstons, ironically, your Ted DiBiase's, even more ironically, your
oh
Cody
God.
Rhodes's. I think
That
even like Shelton Benjamin was on that thing. Like, and we all looked at that issue going, wow, these are all bona fide WrestleMania main eventers. And how many of those actually made it out as WrestleMania main eventers? So don't make the
I think it was
mistake.
only Cody.
Yeah, and Kofi Kingston, if you want to lump him into there. But
Yeah.
aside from that, like, don't make the same mistakes you made in '09. You could recreate that poster with Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Dominik Mysterio, Ilya Dragunov, few others that I'm sure I'm not remembering right now. Like you have it. You have it.
Yeah.
You fucking have it. Just start using it.
So yeah, Braun Breaker is the future. Shitty name and all. I think this guy
It's
is.
a great name because
No,
he
it's not.
breaks things.
Greg will agree with me that his name sucks,
He
but
breaks things.
it doesn't fucking matter. Just call him a Steiner,
What's
but
No, he
because
doesn't
that's
want
what
to
he
be a
is.
Steiner.
That's
And
what
you know
he
what? I
is.
got a bone to pick with Greg when he was like, "Oh, I don't care if they picked it; it still sucks." Like, it does matter that they picked it. They wanted that name, and just because they picked that name doesn't mean that it sucks. He doesn't want to write off of his family's name, and I respect that
Well, the name sucks. Why does he need two Ks?
because he breaks things. What's there not to get?
Ay, 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 ay.
Um, I will say though, on the other side of the spectrum, and this is the part afterward that just made me groan. So Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns are all looking at each other. Punk shakes Roman Reigns' hand, because I'm sure somebody edited in Zebros
No,
into that.
no, 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 no. He didn't shake his hand. CM Punk, it actually was caught on tape. CM Punk, you could see the lip reading. He looks for the fist bump and he says, Zebros. And Roman Reigns, like the smart guy that he is, because he knows that CM Punk's dog is literally about to pass, he's like, I'll give you a pass right now, buddy. Zebros. You
God fucking
know?
damn it.
And
But then he
somebody
looks at Cody Rhodes and he says, I'm never teaming with you ever again. And I'm just like, I look at that visual and I'm just going, isn't this the same goddamn fucking shit we did last year?
I
And
don't
I see CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes in the ring, and I'm like, God, no, fucking no.
I
Something
don't
different. I'm begging you.
I don't fucking want Cody versus Roman 3 at WrestleMania 42. I
Oh,
really don't want that because you want to know why I don't want that? I don't care that these two have put on two classic matches at 39 and 40. They're great. It's great chemistry they have. I don't need to see that match again. Like
not everything
not
needs to be a trilogy.
no, no, it really doesn't. It would come off more like The Godfather 3 more
Yeah.
than Return of the Jedi, you know?
Or The Matrix 3.
Exactly.
Like,
So my
not all
pitch,
great things come in threes. Just like,
my pitch, Braun Breaker wins the belt on January 5th, and you're gonna hate me for this. Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble.
I'm not against it.
Roman Reigns wins the Rumble and challenges Braun Breaker at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title. CM Punk then wins the Chamber in his hometown to go and challenge Cody at Mania for the belt.
Is Punk
That's
going to
what.
get dropped into SmackDown? No, of course he's not. It's going to be a
No,
dual branded fucking thing.
no, no, because the Chamber has been a dual branded thing for like the past couple of years now.
And it's going to make me want to vomit. But
So
anywho, I honestly, I would take that. I would take that over. If we just want to pretend this segment didn't happen, that'd be great. Don't expunge what people are calling the greatest main event in WrestleMania history just to satisfy this weird fetish of trilogy matches that you have. We don't need it. We don't
nope.
need it. We don't need it.
Do
You want to
something
run
different.
Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns back? Fine. Do it at SummerSlam. Do it at any other pay per view.
You
It
want
doesn't need
to
to be the main event of WrestleMania.
you want to know why Triple H's first couple of years as head booker were deemed some of the greatest years in WWE history? Hunter was not afraid to take chances.
Yeah.
It seems like this booking is playing it very safe,
So safe.
especially if you go through with Cody versus Roman 3. That is playing it as the safest possible route you could possibly think of. So,
If you want to complete, if you want to complete the transformation of the whole audience turning on Cody Rhodes, go through with it. That's all I'm
yeah,
going to say. Go through with
yeah,
it.
yeah. I dare you. I dare you.
I don't know. I wouldn't dare Triple H. I feel like he'd be like, fucking bet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
I dare you to turn Cody Rhodes heel.
I'm gonna, it's gonna be cinema, because that's what we do. I don't want to focus on the negative. I'm just saying what
Don't
WWE
be
does.
don't be critics.
Why can't you shut the fuck up and
Just
just enjoy what we do?
good lord. Okay. This War Games match I thought was good. I don't think it was as good as some of the other men's War Games matches we got in the past.
I
Three
can't
and
go higher than a 3.5.
yeah, that's probably realistic for me at 3.5. This was, I mean, it was fun to watch for sure, and I think the right person did end up going over in the end. Who this mass assailant is going to be, I have no idea. I've heard a lot of people theorize that it's Austin Theory. I've heard a lot of people theorize that it's, I do see that the Randy Orton is a possibility, but I'm like, there's no way. There's no chance because he's still got to turn on Cody. I'm still waiting on Randy Orton to turn on Cody Rhodes. Like,
I have heard the idea of whoever this masked man is should not reveal themselves until the world championship match. and he should be the one who cost CM Punk the title.
No,
I
no.
am not against.
Braun Breaker should beat CM Punk clean as a whistle.
Ooh, okay.
If you really want to put Braun Breaker over as the future, have him beat Punk clean.
If that's the
Like,
case, when should they reveal this masked man then?
probably before that. Uh,
Okay.
I don't know. And then Punk can like go through all the vision and have them all barred from ringside for the January 5th match through the month.
Because I will say, the way they are playing this up, in my opinion, if it's Austin Theory, why does it need to be a secret? If it was Austin Theory, he should have taken his mask off right then and there and joined the vision. I am scared. Now, I agree that this should be put off a couple more weeks, but I am scared the longer they put this off, if it is Austin Theory, it's just going to be everyone's going to say it was a huge disappointment, which I kind of agree. If you're going to go through all this trouble of putting it off, the reveal better be good. And nothing against Theory, but he's
With
not
that,
the sort of person you put off for 6 weeks. I feel like people will just go, oh, it's just Austin Theory.
with that wishful thinking, I kind of want it to be someone like a Buddy Matthews.
Or hear me
Like
out, an Ethan Page.
Ethan, yeah, yeah, but I mean, I'm just trying to think because well, Logan Paul doesn't fit with the vision before Paul Heyman brought him in. So I'm like, what is
Yeah,
his relation to Seth Rollins?
it's
Like,
just, I mean, you could make a case for Theory that no, he wasn't a disciple. I know Buddy Matthews was a disciple. I'm thinking of fucking Andrade for some reason. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this masked man situation. I'm just saying if it is Theory, they should have just revealed it right off the bat. Because
yeah,
I don't think I'm not saying I love Austin Theory and I want him to succeed. I'm just saying the reception might just be, oh, it's just Theory.
he's been ice cold ever since John Cena put him over at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He has been
Yeah.
ice fucking cold.
And it's a
Like,
damn shame because he is a good wrestler. He has a
yeah,
good look and he has charisma. He can cut a promo. He has all the tools. He was just in that very awkward situation of Austin Theory was the very last Vince McMahon guy before he got ousted. And it
yep,
just feels like Triple H never gave a damn about him.
yeah, which sucks, which really
Yeah.
sucks. But anyway, this was a fun show to experience live. I would call it. I did say in the vlog, I think it's one of the Survivor Series of all time.
Yeah.
I don't think I can go higher than a 7 on this one.
I can't.
Yeah,
Smack dab, nice round, even ironically, because seven's an odd number. 7 out of 10. Not a
yeah,
horrible show, but
no
a
way,
not a excellent go out of your way kind of show. You could
no.
skip over this pay-per-view, and unless you want to experience John Cena's last PLE, I can confidently say you didn't miss a damn thing.
No, but we do have John Cena's final match to talk about with Saturday night's main event next week on Peacock. Um, and we did not forget about the retros. Survivor Series 2006 and December to Dismember are both in the pipeline. Uh, and we did not forget about AEW either. We do. I want to talk about Full Gear for sure
Yeah, because I
at
did
some
watch
point.
that show, and I had a good time with it.
That was a really good show, I thought, and
Yeah,
very surprisingly good show, and way better than last year's Full Gear, that's for sure.
it's
But
weird because professional wrestling right now, it's still in a very awkward phase. But I will say, um, just remember what Thanos said in Infinity War, perfectly balanced as all things should. I think WWE and AEW are perfectly balanced right now, for better or for worse. Both
yeah,
companies have their problems, but both companies have a lot of good things going for them too.
hmm
I feel like the yeah, just there's some work still need to be done on both sides. And you know what? I don't want both companies to be perfectly perfect because when WWE is making me upset, I want to be able to hop over to AEW. AEW is
yeah,
shit in the bed. I want to say it reminds me of way back in the day. I know TNA was never really a threat to WWE, but I remember watching a review to Victory Road '09, which we all know was a terrible show. I remember scrolling down to the comments and just seeing this one
mm,
singular comment that said, thank God WWE has a pay per view next weekend. and that was Night of Champions, and that was actually a solid show.
It was, yeah. No, that Victory Road 2009 might be a topic for another podcast down the line
Yeah,
for hilariously bad shows. But
maybe for a Fourth of July special where we got some hot dogs and some burgers, and we're
yeah,
just vibing. We'll talk about Victory Road '09.
yeah, for sure. But guys, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Tap that thumbs up, and if you want to check out my second channel, you can go check out the vlog with my experience with Survivor Series. Yeah, this was really fun, my friend. Good to be back on the wrestling grind.
Oh, yeah.
And keep in touch, guys. Stay tuned. Talk to you soon.